Just a few words of welcome from the University of Johannesburg. On behalf of the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Aaron Rensburg, the University of Johannesburg welcomes the South African Society for Cooperative Education, SASCE, delegates to our vibrant, multicultural and dynamic university, pulsing the pace of energy and of the cosmopolitan Johannesburg. We are proud to host the inaugural WIL Africa Conference presented by SASCE, focusing on strengthening the future development of work-integrated learning in Johannesburg, South Africa, and in Africa. I'm not sure that all of you have been around in the news recently, but as you know, the university landscapes has probably changed forever in the last few weeks of this year. So conferences like this is quite important to plan and to do the way forward in terms of work-integrated learning. The inaugural WIL Africa will showcase the various partnerships and best practices and models that is currently being developed. Platforms will be afforded to WIL students and industry that will strengthen the WIL advocacy. UJ has 5,962 students doing WIL in 2015. Placement and monitoring of the WIL activities lies within our faculties. Any company contacts identified are shared with the department WIL representatives. In the reporting period, 68 new company contacts were made. The UJ WIL coordinator works closely with our PsyCAD career services, that is our psychological students doing career services. The role that the career services team play in WIL students for entry into workplace is really invaluable. In our case, quite a large percentage of our students that graduates are first generation students, and therefore work readiness is very important for us. Work placement, work understanding the corporate cultures is quite important for us. The work-integrated learning and service learning are also presented on the UJ Senior Experience, student experience. We have two sides to our student experience. We have a first-year experience where we coordinate and get our first-year students from school into university, understanding university, understanding the way of doing things. And then we have a senior student experience where we say to those students, you've already passed your first year, but now you need to be part of a global community in South Africa, Africa and the world, and we try to get them ready for the purposes to move out from university into the corporate world. The departments, I don't know what that was, the department's draft policy framework on workplace-based learning in the post-school education sector is welcomed and will be discussed to ensure a common understanding of the terminology and language that has caused some confusion in the past. Partnership development remains a key success to the WIL process and the WIL placement process. And this success rate for our students, especially given the rise in WIL needs of the TVET colleges, is very important. A clear and nationally agreed topology for workplace-based learning is an additional benefit. The deepened understanding of expectations, roles and responsibilities of all role players, including the funding, workplace readiness, preparation, placement and related workplace arrangement, quality assurance and risk management is welcomed. As already mentioned, the 4th edition of the African Journal for Work-Based Learning was published in July 2015, and the next publication is due in December 2015. An international editorial board for the journal is being established. This editorial board will contribute to promote the high standards of quality papers, support the review of submitted papers, and contribute strategic themes and focus areas for future editions. That's quite important for the university to make sure that we get the journal accredited so that the research and the papers in that the standard increases and that it moves from discussion papers to research papers, as already been mentioned. These reviewers' reports will contribute to the Accelerate accreditation with the appropriate authorities in Africa. The education of this journal will undoubtedly generate more interest in research and facilitate publication opportunities. Following Saskia and WIL's Willpower World Conference in Durban in 2013, this is the strengthening of the WIL movement in Africa, and UJ is proud to be the inaugural WIL Africa Conference host, which is presented by Saskia, focusing on the strengthening and future development of work-integrated learning in Johannesburg, South Africa and Africa. Once again, welcome to UJ. We hope you enjoy the 3 days, and we hope that this is the start of a massive movement. As we say, WIL must rise, because for our students that's quite important to be able to move from university into work and to be ready for that, because that's one of our biggest challenges. Thank you.
The University of Johannesburg. Rethink, reinvent.